How's it going tonight? I just realized I'm still wearing my jacket, but that's okay. So we're doing my first reaction to the episode 2 of season 4 of Discovery, Anomaly. Samuel did his first reaction earlier tonight. We won't be able to do our live full review until Monday. So, yeah, that's a thing. So, anyway, we're here. I just set up in front of this, just what it is. So, actually, I should probably maybe reframe it a little bit. There we go. Reframing is good. So everybody hit that like button. Probably won't be a long live because it is late, and but I wanted to do something. So yeah, that's where we stand. Let me, in case you're wondering, I was at a Christmas party tonight, so it was Sylvia's work's Christmas party. So YouTube, just gonna pull up the comments here. So let me know what you guys thought of the episode. Did you like it? I didn't watch Samuel's reaction to it, so I'm not sure exactly what he said. But let me know if you watched his reaction as well. That would be good to know. So Neil N. Hey, don't often catch one of these live streams. Well, I'm glad you could. I'm gonna take this off for sure. It's a little bit warm. Anywho, so don't know what you guys want to talk about specifically tonight, besides the episode, but I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was better than the first episode, in my opinion. I know Samuel didn't quite think so. That being said, there was quite a substantial part from like the 35-minute mark till almost near the end where it seemed to be a lot of repeating the same things, and could have been scaled down a little bit, or a few things changed up. So I don't know how I feel about it necessarily. I think it is a little bit better than the last one, but excited for the new season. Logos of Game says it's 5 in the morning with me, so neither do I. Neil, and you and I are in the same time zone, it seems. Oh, so you guys are in the UK, I would assume. So that's cool. Yeah, I didn't schedule this live because I wasn't sure what time I'd be home, and I don't know. It's not going to be a long live, I don't think. But, you know, I thought I'd at least come on and kind of give you the regular weekly content, even though it is later than usual. So there is that. Hello, Colin. Joe says it was better than the first episode. I liked how they're all working on trauma in their own way. Yes, a lot of the characters had a chance to grow, from Adira to Tilly to Hugh, getting those moments. The Booker and Stamets relationship, I love that. That was great. Even Burnham. Burnham felt like a goddamn captain for a change. So that's always a bonus. She didn't feel as bad as she did last week. So that's good. I mean, that's an improvement. So there is that. Saru being back was awesome. His influence on Burnham, or his advice to Burnham, was amazing. As was Hugh's advice to Tilly about Adira, because Adira is essentially what Tilly used to be in season 1. So that was dealt with fairly well, I think. The book stuff was good. Book and Stamets stuff, as I said. However, a lot of the time in the Anomaly, I found there was a lot of wasted time as well as repeated elements, repeated conversations. I didn't like the fact that once they let go of the tether, and they were in a gravitational anomaly, that they could still have real-time holographic communication with the holographic stamets. I think it should have been a little bit of a lag or something going on there. Would have been interesting, as opposed to just everything working fine. Hello, Colin. It gave me real TOS feels, says Mellow Canuck. Ozzy says, how was your Christmas party, and did you like the 1990s? Did you party like it's 1990 with the Admiral? It was a good party, and yes, had quite a few beers, so I'm a little bit right now. So if anybody wants to super chat, I would really appreciate it. Just get a few super chats would be great. If not, that's cool too. Just at least hit that like button. We have 28 people watching, which I think is great considering I didn't announce I was doing this. So thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said, I just want to briefly talk about the episode. We'll see what you guys are vibing as far as, your thoughts, and we'll go from there as to what we're going to do. So Joe says, I also love seeing Burnham and Sarah's relationship being so good that she can trust in his counsel. Absolutely agree. Mellow Canuck, the dumbest move was that tether. Jason says, I really liked it. It reminded me of a movie. William says, will this thing get tied in with V'ger? I don't think so. I don't know why everybody keeps mentioning V'ger. I can't see that being a possibility. So I'm just taking my socks off. So I don't know why people keep saying that. I'm going to say no, 100% no, but I'm wondering if it has something to do with the soliton wave technology. Could be. It could also be the SB-19 if the Navarians are working on that again, because the Navarian president said, you have our science academies on your side to look into it. Somebody could be running experiments they're not supposed to be. It could tie in with the pathway prototype drive that they're looking to put in the Voyager J. If they're running tests of that could be what's causing this. And also, maybe the next generation Spore drive is doing it. I'm not really sure. 5 light years wide. They mess on the size again. They don't know their math, as per usual. Why do you say that, though, Carlos? Some really nice Discovery ship porn in this episode. Yes, there were some fantastic shots of Discovery. And I really like the new Discovery. I like the refit. I think it looks a lot better than the original. So there's that. Gavlane, I've liked almost all of Discovery. Just take it as entertainment. Pretty simple. Yeah, absolutely. I do enjoy when a new episode of Discovery is coming out. I get excited. I do enjoy watching it. But when we have to do a review and go on the assumption or the premise that it's based in the Prime universe or the Prime timeline because they said so, that's where it kind of falls apart. So we do overanalyze it a bit, but yes, I do enjoy it, absolutely. On one hand, on the other hand, I need to be a little bit more cynical and a little bit analytical when I talk about it. So I do apologize for that if that upsets anybody, but that's just the way it is with the format of show that we do. So let me know in the comments, guys, if you guys tuned into Samuel's first reaction and what he thought of it. Would be interesting to hear from you guys, because I haven't had a chance to watch it. Like I said, I was busy, so and I've had too many beers. Should do a truth or dare. I can't do truth or drink because I don't have anything to drink at the house here. I mean, I might actually, I do, but I don't want to get any more drunk than I am. So it's only super chat questions will work as truth or drink, or truth or dare. Either I have to tell you the truth, or I'm gonna have to complete a dare, I guess. I don't know. It's not gonna work. It's not a good premise. I don't know. Ozzy says, so far no big turbo shaft. I know, and when I saw Tilly and Hugh, Tilly and Hugh or Tilly and, no, Tilly and Saru earlier in the episode where they got into a turbo lift, I'm like, oh, please, for the love of God, do not show the turbo lift shafts. And they didn't, so that was good. That was good. Colin says, for some reason, this anomaly reminds me of the sphere builders from Star Trek Enterprise. Yes, and that might be the case. We've talked about that as well. That little musical sting and the reference to Archer Station could tie in with Enterprise in more than just that way, obviously. And I think the sphere builders coming back would be interesting, an interesting premise. We'll have to see. Mark Lawrence throws in $5. Hey, Cap, nice to see Bryce get an idea that was used, but of course Burnham had to be the one to take over and tell Book when to go. Yes, seeing Bryce and Reese get more screen time in these last 2 episodes was amazing. Like I said, they each got more to do this season, more lines of dialogue than they have in all 3 seasons of Discovery leading up to this. So that's fantastic. Keep it up. Those guys are great. Not just the characters, which we don't really know that well, but the actors. We met the actors in Vegas. And the guy that plays Bryce, he is a fan of Trekyards. He does watch our show. So does Reese. But Reese, when we talked to them, he's like, Bryce like, oh yeah, I know Trekyards. I watch Trekyards a lot. And Bryce is like, kind of looks at him like, what? He goes, you do too. You've watched 1 or 2 of them. And so yeah, it was kind of funny, the back and forth between them. So that's good to know. And I think they're great. Good actors, nice people. So. Some admiral named Picard. Love the reference. Yes, that was great. That was a nice little Picard drop. But then it goes on to say that after Soon created the technology, they tried implementing it a few times and it never really worked. It was kind of a failure. So it'll be interesting to see how that plays out in Picard. Unfortunately, I think it kind of nullifies the thought that Q's just going to snap him back into being human, because that would have been on record that he was never an android body or whatever. But yeah, the gray scene with the body was cool, and getting rid of the mole and stuff. I think that was kind of neat. So I thought that was well played. It was kind of misplaced in the episode though, and wasn't. I don't say it wasn't elaborated on enough, but I think the scene was just the right length. It just came at a weird time in the episode and kind of screwed pacing a little bit. I think it should have been in a much less action-packed episode, but that being said, it's Discovery. They're all going to be action-packed. Carlos is like, oh, you are drunk. Gevlin, here is one thing. Since Interstellar, we seem to get the same eye-style image of black holes in many places. Yeah, that visual, but I think that's an actual scientific, I guess, reality theory as to what they would look like. So I think that's fine. But yeah, that pan back at the end was awesome to see the eye. It looks like an eyelid and then turns into more of an eye and then looks more like just an anomaly, like with an event horizon. It was quite a neat, I don't know if it's foreshadowing to say this is a big baddie, some kind of like malevolent presence, or even just alien species that's doing this. But it was a nice visual, I have to say. Maybe the anomaly is Discovery's turbolift pocket universe after escaping the confines of the ship. Joe says, I like the mention of the golem they built for Picard. Yes, I do too. Ron Phillips, happy Turkey Day, Captain Foley. Great episode today. 2 for 2 for Discovery Season 4. Yeah, I would agree with that. Although, like I said, I preferred this one more than the first episode. So, and happy Turkey Day to everyone in the U.S. Hope you had a great day, and I hope you have a good weekend and a safe weekend. Eat all the food you can. But, yeah, for us here in Canada, it's not Thanksgiving. Our Thanksgiving was in October. So, been there, done that. Got the bland t-shirt. You know what I'm saying? So, Uh, Grivlane, the final shot was epic. It really won. The eye image of black holes was created by scientists for the movie Interstellar. Okay, well, Graveland, sorry, many drinks here. Yeah, no worry, man. No need to be sorry. Um, I've had a few drinks myself, so. But no, I hope you guys are all having a great Thanksgiving, and hope you guys really enjoyed this episode of Discovery. Um, and I don't know. I don't know what else I'm going to talk about necessarily. So it's up to you guys to lead the conversation. We've been going for 15 minutes here. We have 26 likes with 40 people watching. I think we can easily get up to 40 likes, guys. Hit that like button. If you want me to stay a little bit longer, I'm gonna have to ask for super chats. I'm tired. I'm drunk, and I don't know how long I want to do a live for. I wanted to come on and say hi, though. I know that Fleetpaw and some of the other moderators can't make it right now because it's too late. It's about 2 hours after I normally do these, so yeah, there's that. Everybody's wondering if features involved, and I don't know why people are thinking that. Does it look like Discovery now actually has a counselor? Well, I mean, it's going to be Hugh. Hugh is not the CMO. He is not the chief medical officer. And he did help Giorgio last season. So I don't have a problem with him being a counselor and a doctor. So I think it's fine. I don't think they necessarily have a specific counselor. But it's going to be interesting to hear what Tilly has to say. The fact that she didn't know what she wanted to, or that she hasn't been feeling like herself, I like that. Because it definitely seems like it from that first episode as well. She's just not the Tilly we know. So Colin says being drunk simply means you did not waste your money at the bar. Nothing worse than still being sober after spending a lot of money. Didn't spend any money. Got 2 free tickets from myself and Sylvia when we went in. Plus Sylvia she's part of the committee, I forget what it's called now. Anyway, she was at the door taking the tickets, and so yeah, I didn't have to pay for the drinks because we had tickets. So it's just that simple. Starbase 1138, USS Federation or USS Affiliation? I don't understand the question. I do know what the USS Federation is, Federation class, but I don't know what the affiliation is. And yes, Ozzy, the shuttle bay door was open, was closed. Jason says, yes, the visual effects were kicked up a notch. I love they no longer use green and blue screens. Mark Lawrence with $5 would have liked the Picard line to say, oh, he captained 2 Enterprises or something along those lines. Captaining an Enterprise is a special thing. It is, but considering they came up for a few years before TOS, it's not. Sure, Pike commanding, or even Robert April commanding the heavy cruiser Constitution class Enterprise, one of the original 12, is an important enough ship, I guess. We had Archer back in the day doing the NX-01 Enterprise. But honestly, there's no legacy for Enterprise yet. Because if it was the NX-01 and now it's just the Constitution, which is one of the 12, it still hasn't gone through Kirk and be the only one to survive its 5-year mission, which gives it the privilege of getting the refit. So it hasn't really earned that. It's not the flagship at all at this point. At this point in the timeline, not here years in the future, they would know about that. But I was saying the people from Discovery era wouldn't know that. So part of the anomaly changing directions was freaky. Is it sentient? It could very well be, as I said, some kind of grander entity that's causing this for some reason. How about Voyagers? It was sitting there in Archer shipyard. Well, they're talking about putting the new pathway drive on it, pathway drive prototype, and getting a new captain for it to test it out. So it's kind of the new hero ship of Discovery, I think. Well, side hero ship. Of course, Discovery is the hero ship, but you know what I mean? So, Sebastian, aka Space Daddy, €2. What do you suspect the anomaly is? No idea. We did a live talking about our thoughts on it. It could be multiple things. We just do not have enough information right now. I don't necessarily think it's going to be some big baddie plot from some other species. I kind of like the fact that it's one large entity, much like Q, but much more evil, perhaps trying to manifest itself. That would be neat. I don't know. I really don't know what to say about that. I don't know what it could be. How about that cone of silence? It's funny you say that. I thought the exact same thing. I almost said it when I talked to Samuel earlier too, but he wouldn't have got the cone of silence reference. But that was neat. The private channel, the force field around the captain's chair. It was all right. And finally, an episode where the gravity system fails twice. I'm not necessarily sure that the gravity plating failed. It's just that they were being messed with by a more substantial gravitational anomaly. So yes, but yes, I really like that aspect. That's one of the flaws in Trek. No matter how damaged the ship is, the goddamn grav plating always works. Well, maybe not always, most of the time. Do I still have a bloodshot eye? I guess not. Okay, good. Jason, no, I never thought about that. Disco Crew doesn't know about them Legacy. Not yet. Well, I mean, they might now. They've been in the future for, Burnham's been there for a year, you know, and the 5 months between season 3 and 4. So there's lots of time to do research and find out. And I'm sure she would have looked up the Enterprise and Spock and see what happened with their adventures and learned that so they would know, but they wouldn't know at the same time, you know? If the grass plating failed once, why didn't they put on seat belts? You know, it looked like the graviton eclipse from the Voyager, one small step. Yeah, it did a little bit. Why evil? Why not just natural? Well, yeah, okay, fine. I misspoke. Maybe it's just something that's trying to manifest itself into existence and doesn't realize that it's causing harm. Like in the immunity syndrome, where it's got that single-celled amoeba that's trying to form, you know, it's not malevolent, it's not trying to be evil, it's just trying to exist. Scott says, I told you it was a black hole. Haha. Did you? We actually speculated on that. Was it Wednesday? Yeah, Wednesday, yesterday, during our live, where we looked at the trailer again and we saw the 2 black holes, and we said, yeah, it's 2 black holes that look like they're intersecting to cause a shock wave. So there you go. It's a black hole. Do you want a medal or a chest to pin it on? That's a joke. Ryan, the gravity loss scenes made no sense. Unless the ship got hit right when they lost gravity, they wouldn't have been thrown upward. But then why did they all of a sudden stop moving towards the ceiling? I don't know. Good overall episode, but I got to say, when you know about the flamethrowers on the bridge, you can't unsee them. And I expect, yeah, watch our video on Saturday. I think we have a video coming out on Saturday that talks specifically about that, because those are super fucking annoying. It's Galactus, yes. I mean, they're programmable matter and space tethers, programmable seatbelts. No, or is that just firmware update lacking? It's a good point, actually. It's not a black hole, though. They thought it was, but when they got there, they said it wasn't. Well, I think it's, as I talked about yesterday, I think it's 2 black holes that are slightly out of phase with our with our reality, much like LaForge and Roe were in that one episode. I think it's just slightly out of phase, so it's still impacting our reality, but we can't really see what's going on with them. That's kind of my theory on that. So, didn't they say they thought it was two black holes, but by the end they couldn't have been that anymore? Yes, they did kind of say that, yes. I don't remember the exact dialogue. I've only watched it once. So I need to watch it again for sure. But like I said, we're doing our full review on Monday, where we'll get into the actual text dialogue via subtitles. So we'll let you know what it says. It looks like a giant eye when they zoom out. Really cool effects. My wife said the same thing about seatbelts. Ah, yes. Bridge flamethrowers were in effect. Yeah, Sam was not impressed by the flamethrowers on the earlier stream. He feels it's a downgrade on the bridge. Fuck yeah, it is. Especially when they fire at the exact same time and they have the exact same flame pattern on each side. Behind the captain, it looks like like I said, a Disney attraction ride. That just, you get the predictable, safe pyrotechnics that flare out in a specific manner. And it's not just behind Burnham, too. There's other places on the bridge where they are now. So I just think it's a weird choice. I don't see why they're going to stretch this plot over 12 episodes. Or how. Well, they're not necessarily going to. I think we'll see little bits and pieces of it. Some episodes I think will focus on more on other things. And as Samuel says, he's kind of hoping it's a 5 or 6 episode thing and then they go into something else. I personally don't think that's going to be the case. But we'll see how they deal with things. It'd be cool, like, we know they go into the anomaly at one point. It'd be cool if it actually takes them to, like I said, the Andromeda Galaxy or another galaxy of some sort, and they get stuck there for a while and have to find a way back, and then they find out that somebody on that side or that galaxy is actually creating them on purpose or by accident. You could definitely stretch it over that amount of episodes. They said they can't predict the trajectory initially. It was a binary black hole. I suppose a lot will depend on what the anomaly actually is. Yeah, it's really tough to say. There's a lot of potential, though, story-wise. I kind of like it, and I think it's one of those threats that's going to threaten so many planets that it's going to have to pull them together. It's going to have to make them work together and have them rejoin the Federation as a result to be Federation strong to defeat this thing. I kind of like that, considering they jumped from, 34 or 32 planets to 59 in these 5 months since the burn's been fixed. So I think, yes, it's going to be a strong foundation to build the Federation on. If you hear snoring, it's because my pug is snoring over there. Precious. Stop snoring. It is so one of the better mysteries they have written. Let's hope the improved writing continues. The Navarro president did say something about civilian unrest because of the burn still being in people's minds. Yes, she said it could cause that because it's another weird anomaly that's striking out at planets. And it could cause that. She didn't say that has been happening. She says there's a possibility of it happening again because people are still scared about the burn and they don't want to see that happen again. So I like that because that's exactly what would happen. So, yes. The preview of the next episode seems like they do something else. LOL, Navarre stuff. Cool. Hope we see the Navarre president and Saru together again. I'm sure we will. And Scott says, we keep wondering if we'll see the Klingons again. They would probably be unnecessary antagonists for the current storyline, though. Yes, I don't think we need them, but I would like to see what the hell they're doing. The Klingons are a pretty important part of Star Trek, so we should know what they're up to. What do you think is up with Tilly? She seems lost in herself more in these 2 episodes than all of last season. I think it's one of those imposter syndrome things that YouTubers like myself get. where we don't think we deserve the viewers that watch us. We don't think we deserve the praise or the thanks we get for the videos we make. I think it's that. She's been promoted to lieutenant now. And she sees a lot of herself in the young Adira. I think that's going to be something as well. So that she sees herself in Adira, but she also feels lost. She's 900 years in the future. She doesn't have her family with her. Her mother and whatever that she used to butt heads with is gone. I think it's imposter syndrome. I think she doesn't think she belongs in the position she's in, and that's going to play a big part in it. That's my thought. I could be wrong. I probably am, but there you go. Olivia Julius throws in $5. We are going to see the next generation of the Sooms family tree, aren't we? Golem is still stretching it. Klingons may have died out. That's true. Jeff says, I don't mind long or mid-season. I don't mind season-long arcs, but they need to know where they're going to do that with the ending. For the ending and how it's going to stick the landing story-wise. So tired of being let down in the end. Yeah. I think Tilly is struggling with being in the future, and what happened with Osira is not helping either. Yes, I think the Osira thing was a big blow to her ego, because she's like, I'm going to be a captain one day. I'm going to be a captain. I'm going to be in the captain's chair. That was her thing in season 1. She finally got the job, and she kind of fumbled the ball a bit. She made reference to it as well, and or Burnham did, if this is about the Osira thing. So yes, that's a big part of it as well. So just lack of confidence is essentially what it is. Tilly is getting a dose of reality. She's a kid who's been through it and hasn't really processed it yet. Smart Smith says, I honestly feel Tilly is getting up to leave the ship. Maybe after leaving the show for a while, they're going to play up the non-stop pace of Discovery to say she finally needs a break. I had the same feeling about the character possibly leaving the show. I'm not sure that's going to happen, but it's a gut feeling that I have. So I'm glad you mentioned it, but I don't necessarily think that's the case. Don't know. It would be nice to have a smaller problems in reforming the Federation, perhaps with one major minor power instead of everything being a galactic scale emergency. True. Ryan says, I wonder if we'll see a vehicle replicator on Discovery this year. They don't really need a vehicle replicator per se. They would just use programmable matter, which is sort of the same thing, but it doesn't necessarily require the arms and stuff that we see in Prodigy that builds the shuttle. So I'm going to say no, is my thought. But I could be wrong. So, where the hell is Jet Reno? Not there yet. She says she's got a pretty big role in this season, but because of COVID and her illness that she had, she couldn't do any filming for the first few episodes. So, very good question. Perhaps they'll just write it as she was on another ship, getting some future experimental, or future knowledge, engineering apprenticeship or whatever, and that would make sense for when she finally does show up. I wish they cast a better actor as Gray. Ian Alexander isn't very good. Hopefully he retrieves with time, but he's a bit cringy. I kind of agree. I kind of agree with you a little bit. I don't know. It'd be cool to see where that character goes, though. I was wondering if Tilly might join Saru on another ship, possibly. Some admiral named Picard. Yeah, that was a good little reference. SWTX Chaser, I feel Tilly is being set up for a sacrifice, disappears into the anomaly, and then returns after making contact near the end of the season and made first contact with the entity. Very cool. I would be fine with that as long as it was done well. Jet Reno might be the one behind the Pathway Drive development. That I like. That would be a nice little surprise. I wonder if we'll get a holodeck episode now that Discovery has a holo. Yes, not a holodeck, but it's just a holo. Like holo emitters in your ready room or your quarters that can turn the whole thing into a holodeck. I kind of like that. It's a good advancement on the tech, but I don't think we're going to get a holodeck episode out of Discovery. Sorry. It's too bad they couldn't have the TIG film some sort of standalone scenes later that could insert into these episodes. I mean, I don't disagree with you, but see how much time she has in the rest of the season, because I really like the character and I like the actress, so yeah. Mitch, I totally agree. He says this show takes itself so seriously. Trek needs to be a little fun at times. Yes. And yes, Captain Ron Phillips, I agree. Having Saru back is great. His advice to Tilly, his advice to Burnham was spot on, perfect. So, yeah, good to have him back. And there's a little symbol there that stands for community, which is cool. All right, guys, we have 44 likes. Can we get to 50? Can we get 6 more likes? Would be great. Sorry, I'm very low energy. I could say, I consider the episode where they go to the dilithium planet and get turned into different species a holodeck episode. By the way, is Culber the ship's counselor? No, because ships in that era didn't have counselors. He was a doctor, a nurse. He's not the CMO, as we talked about. He's not the chief medical officer. But I think he also has that dual role of being a counselor as well, but not specifically the title of counselor. So, but I think he's got that now. He did help Giorgio in the last season. So I have no problems with that. I think Culber is somebody that I would want to tell my problems to. I think I would feel very comfortable with that. So. People are loving the new uniforms. Yeah. All right, we hit 50 likes. That's awesome, guys. But on that note, you know what? I think I'm going to go to bed. I'm just really tired. There won't be a live tomorrow night, at least not at 5. I may do one later, like at 10. Maybe do a Trek trivia one when I'm actually awake and not full of beer. We might do Trek trivia one tomorrow night, but there's not one tomorrow at 5. The review for this episode is going to be up on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And check out our content this weekend. So I am just super tired, and I really wanted to come on and say hi. I think 40 minutes is a pretty good live length. I would like to go longer. I'm getting knocked out. As I said, I'm knocked out. I'm just kind of flatlined when I got home. So anyway, thank you for watching, guys. Hit that like button before you leave, though. And thanks for everybody that super chatted. Thanks for everybody that showed up and commented. Like I said, keep your eyes out tomorrow. I will schedule that one if I do one. If I do one at 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I'll let you guys know. So if you guys want to join me for that, where we can still continue this discussion when I'm more awake, and just do Trek trivia, hang out, that'd be awesome. We'll see. So, dream of Orions. Hey, baby. I always do. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Damn dog. Live long and prosper. Have yourselves a great night and a good weekend, and happy Thanksgiving to everybody. Enjoy your turkey, enjoy your stuffing, enjoy your mashed potatoes. Drive safe. Don't drink and drive. Don't die at Black Friday sales. Don't stampede people for TVs. You know, that kind of See you later, guys.